Yeah.
Because they're inverses of one another. Your mind cannot be where your heart is, and your heart is not where your mind is.
I had this presupposition that mind or conceptual knowledge was the only way to know, and that anything and everything could be known through that way. And then this experience happened. And if I try to go there to understand it, it's gone. And so it feels like I can only understand it as such by inhabiting it. And like from it, I understand it. And that's it. There's almost not more to be said. It's just the experience must be experienced as such. Is how it feels.
Yeah, the moment you turn your attention, the moment you turn your mind to it, it vanishes. That's right, that's what you just said.
Yeah.
The moment I want to know it conceptually, it goes away.
Yeah.
Because they're inverses of one another. Your mind cannot be where your heart is, and your heart is not where your mind is. So it's learning that letting go of your mind is okay. And that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yes, we all know that. We're all trained that we are our mind, and if we didn't have our mind, we wouldn't be able to operate in this world. Very common fear, you could say. A roadblock. The roadblock. That is the roadblock. Because if I don't have an ego, if I don't have an egoic mind, how could I get out of bed and have breakfast? How would that work? I'd just be a blob. And that's not true. That is the illusion. You don't need an ego. You've never had one. Self has been carrying this for eternity. And it's remembering that that is the truth. And so we've been working on our mind for decades. And so it's going to take some time to release the mind. And that's okay. If it's going to take time. Some of the greatest sages that we know, they've said it's taken them 3 years of diligence, Nisargadatta Maharaj, 3 years. He was a common man. He was a business owner, and now he's known as one of the most amazing sages to walk the planet. But there you have it. He's a common man that took 3 years. And the wonderful piece about all of this, it's not all or nothing. Right? You're already experiencing it. I mean, you seem to be a calm, peaceful man. I know internally it could be different. Up here it's just like rah, 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 rah. But there is a gradient. As the ego starts to dissolve, you experience the peace that resides underneath it, which just gives more, you could say, determination or love to turn within, because you realize that if I just keep turning within, I'll experience all these beautiful qualities more and more. So.
Okay. That helps a lot, actually. Yeah. Helps knowing I'm somewhat on the right path.
You are.
Sorry.
I was say you are. This is the final path. This is the end. You will experience an end. And that's the ultimate aha. Like, oh my gosh, there is an end to this mind that wants to be constantly on the go. I can't end that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That was. I was recently doing some direct pointing instructions, and a lot of them were to, or it usually started with something like, disconnect from the chatter that's happening in the mind or whatever. And I was very surprised to find that a bunch of times it wasn't there. Like I would turn my attention to it to then release, and there was kind of nothing going on. And it's like,
yeah,
it's really, really calm. I'm like,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
There you could say it's a big sigh of relief. Because really, I mean, at its core, inherently, it's a bigger understanding than just, hey, my mind went silent for a little bit, but I know it's going to kick back up. Like, like this is the answer to eliminate that chatter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big difference. That is the only difference that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Because the ego will not ever get out of itself. The mind will never, ever eliminate or dissolve itself. It will play along. It will play the I am now the mind that dissolves itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's just another identity.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the moment the ego lets up, or, you quit your practice, it'll just fire back up again. As we all know, this is what gets underneath it. This is prior to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that there's a lot of terminology that's, people say it's beyond the mind. You go beyond the mind. No. That is a misdirection. It's prior to mind. Because if you go beyond the mind, that means you have to get to the mind to go beyond it. What's going beyond it? The mind's going beyond it. How do you get out of the mind? You can't in that direction. So yeah, this is a stepping back.
Yes.
And then looking.
Right, and then looking from there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that checks out.